All right, this is a video for my subs about why I think that PA is just not it anymore. Maybe a while ago they used to be. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't send one of my buddies here for a scope if they were just getting into it and they just wanted a couple $100 scope to throw on their rifle until they decide, you know what, $5,000 optic they want to decide on for their rig. Primary Arms used to be that guy. You know, that's who you would send people to is, yeah, PA will get you something that will hold up and is good enough and will, you know, hold you over till you get whatever you want from Loopold or, you know, whatever flavor of candy you decide to go with. But now that's just not the case anymore, and I'm just going to tell you why. We do have to wait here for a second because YouTube is so notorious at destroying videos if they're about content like this. And I'm not talking about like any prices here yet, or I'm not saying anything, but in fact, I'm not going to speak specifically about that, but I would just say that this thing is outpriced by at least a bill, even more, depending. So if we look at this scope, it's a decent looking scope. It's got solid turrets. They are not locking turrets, that should be noted. This is their SLX, so their silver line. They have a GLX, which is their gold line, and a PLX, which is their platinum line, from my understanding of it. And what I'm getting across to all of you, or what I'm trying to, is for what they want for this does not have ED glass in it. So this is pretty much just old optical quartz, and you know, that's cool, but really we're at the age now where people should be getting at least ED glass if they are spending this kind of money. And this isn't even that much money. This is like their budget scope. And that's what I'm saying. It's outpriced for a lower quality of glass. It's not like this has locking turrets or something that the other scopes don't. And pretty much I have two scopes that will outscope this because they have better quality glass in them. You know, and they cost substantially less than this. You're getting more features. Now this one is kind of impressive because it is a 3 through 18. The Discovery optic that I have is a 3 through 15. I will take that over this any day because it has the ED glass and that super clarity, right? I will lose 3 zoom. That ain't even no thing. 15 times magnification is plenty, right? I would much rather have that crisper glass in there. At the end of the day, that's really what we're looking through. So, and then of course the Panzer. I'm gonna tell you right now, a Panzer for a third of the price of this thing, literally a third of the price of this thing, maybe a little more than that, because mine came in at like a bill 25 or 26, something like, oh, one was a bill 20, one was a bill 26, depending on what magnification you wanted in them. The point is, they come with ED glass, so they don't have the turrets that are as nice as this. But they do have that ED glass, and the fact of the matter is you can get into that higher quality of glass at that price point. I don't think Primary Arms should be selling stuff like this for this price. I feel like they are valuing their name brand so high. Like, there's such a markup on this scope just because it's a Primary Arms. Like, they're established enough now where people that don't read into this stuff and don't look into this, like, to the untrained eye, this looks like a great scope, and it is still a good scope. You can definitely shoot with this, but anybody that really like researches this stuff and that is into it is going to know that, like, wait a minute, you know, this looks good, and especially for the price, but like, you can actually get higher quality glass than this for substantially less than this, and probably even some better features. And again, I'm somebody that has PA scopes. So I've sampled plenty of their glass. I have some here, and it's definitely not up to par with the PA glass, or the ED glass that I have. That's some of the best glass that I have in the armory right now, right? And even the price, I mean, you know, we're selling this to you for 3 bills. They're usually 5. No, they're not. No, they're not. This is a Chinese made optic, okay? If these other brands can pump these things out for between 1 and 2, so can Primary Arms. They're getting them pumped out at the same damn shops over in China. I can literally, look at some of the housings and stuff and be like, some of these are made on the same stuff, probably in the same shop, or at least on the same street in a different shop. So yeah, if there's multiple other brands that can bring these same things at the same quality to market for actually substantially less now, and they're putting a higher quality grade glass into their optics. And Primary Arms is like, yo, forget all that. Forget about upgrading and trying to stay competitive. We will just sell based on our name brand. We will sell to the people that really aren't going to take the time to look into all the details and compare. They're going to say, hey, here's something that is within their price point. And I don't know, I would value this optic as something that I would pay a bill for. A bill. And they want to sell it to me on sale for 3 of them? Nah. So this is why just IMO, in my opinion, PA, Primary Arms, has fallen off lately. If I have to point a friend to, a place to go pick out a scope for the DL, or just something to hold them over, like I said, until they get their optimal, setup that they want, it's not going to be here, unfortunately. And hey, like I said, I started there too. I was ordering stuff from Primary Arms back in the day, and I got to watch them increase their price and do this whole thing and come out with these 3 different series of quality. I'm sure if you upgrade to their, what is this? This is the, PLX? No, this isn't Platinum. This isn't GLX. It's SLX, so silver. This is their 3rd line down, right? So I'm pretty sure if you upgrade to GLX, which is their gold, you would probably get some ED glass, right? But then they would be selling you that optic for, 9 bills marked down to 6 bills to make you think that you're getting a deal, right? To get into pretty much the same glass that I'm getting from Discovery, Opt, or even Monstrum, right? And then of course, yes, the Primary Arms PLX, their Platinum line, that is like a $1,200 scope, and they do have a higher grade of ED glass in that scope. Like, that is Japanese ED glass, just like Discovery Opt, but that is a higher grade of Japanese glass from my understanding. And the Japanese ED glass and the German ED glass are like the best ones out there from my understanding of it. There are different grades of this glass, and China has recently started making their own. It's not as good, but it's still ED quality glass, and China's selling it for substantially less. That is where the Panzer comes in. That is Chinese ED glass. Discovery Opt has Japanese ED glass. I don't have any of the German glass to sample, but I do have the Chinese and the Japanese. And the Discover Opt are the lenses I like to look through. They are just the clearest. They look very nice. So, Primary Arms, it's probably around 6 bills to get into glass like that. And if you buy their gold line, I mean, those things are they're over 10 bills, right? They're over $1,000. You might be able to score one for 9 or something like that. That's a world of a difference from 2 bills, is all I'm saying. So I really kind of stay away from Primary Arms myself at this point, and this is just a great example of why. On the outside, this thing looks really good, especially with that zoom range, 3 through 18, but you notice I can read through this whole thing. They're not going to talk about the glass here. They will, we go down to details. I've read through this twice, and they don't really, they just say when you see things like clear, optical, whatever, and they don't actually talk about what kind of glass it is and what kind of lens it is. That's never a good sign. And they never once in here talk about the actual glass quality. So I'm willing to bet anything that this is just optical level quartz, and that is not as good as ED glass. And I can definitely see the difference when I compare normal glass to ED glass, right? There's less blur, especially if you're trying to illuminate a reticle and you don't want that reticle to bleed through all the glass. You don't want the ambient glow. Yeah, it just has a pretty big effect on the reticle, in my opinion. And I would prefer to always rock ED glass, especially if I'm trying to light a reticle up. So this is just the logical, the logical lens for me to get in any of my scopes, if I can, is ED. That is, until they come out with something better, which I'm sure they will, I just think this is a great example of why PA ain't it, right? But they sure will dress some stuff up to look really good, but it is not. It is not. Just in my opinion, this scope is not it. I'm sure it's a functional scope, but even for this price, for the sale price, you just ain't getting as good as you could, right? And you be out $100 for no reason is all I'm saying. That's $100 that could have went to magazines and a pack of ammo. So do with this what you will. It's all just IMO. Have an awesome day.